we're working. I think we're working. Sorry for try number 3. CPU seems to be running a lot nicer now. Not eating up like 90% because I have so many stuff open. Now it's like 78% available for idle, so I think we're good. Obviously. I just want to play some Unmatched. Let's. The only thing I really changed was that I got a new mouse. But now that it's not connected, it hasn't crashed yet. So let's see. Is it the mouse that is trying to destroy my life? Let me get everything connected here real fast, and then we can get into it. As the title suggests, we are doing a Bruce Lee villain deck. So it's not actually based on the villain decks from Unmatched, but from Jack North. So there's less like an objective for the villain to win. It's more just like a regular Unmatched battle where it's like more of a skirmish where he's just trying to kill you, you're trying to kill him. But they still have like scaling health totals. And then of course like cards that tell you what to do on their turn if they're defending or attacking. And Jack North gave me a few decks that he made that were actually based on like regular fighters. Oh, sorry, one second. Getting a call. Hello? Is it urgent? Okay. Alright, can I call you back in just a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. Let's get everything in here, and then I can take that call. Just so you guys can see what's going on here, so you're not just watching me be on the phone. Okay. So we'll reload the data here. Get rid of all this. Okay. So we can reposition ourselves. Let's turn off the magnification, autofocus. We'll get myself up in the corner here. There we go. Get everything centered. Perfect. And then I'm gonna in OBS. Whoop, where is it? Give me this guy. Move this. Whoop. Come on. For some reason, it won't let me move that. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm not a professional here. I guess we'll leave that off. If anybody wants to join, just let me know, because it is multiplayer. So we can go. Well, oops. Recenter ourselves here. Maybe, I kind of want to reconnect my mouse, but I'm like, maybe that was the thing that was like breaking it. So we'll get nice and big here so you can see me very well. Okay, so let me turn my mouse on. We'll see. If the stream crashes because I turn the mouse on, then good night, y'all. But I think we're good. I hopefully fixed here. Okay, so I'm going to be playing Bigfoot this round, so we can take a look. Obviously, everybody knows Bigfoot here. At the end of your turn, there's no opposing fighters in Bigfoot's zone. You may draw one card. He has a lot of cancels, so since we're testing out against Bruce Lee, I wanted to play it safe, give myself some cancels, because you do get to see what's going to happen, so you get to choose the cancels very well. But if you look, oop, I forgot, you can't turn off the phone. You got to keep the phone on the whole time. There we go. Classic Vorpal. Okay, let me get centered here for you. So, looking at the villain hero card here. So Bruce Lee, a melee fighter, and then so if you look there, it says 1 player, 1 action, starting health 14, 2 players, 2 actions, starting health 19, and it keeps scaling up. And then he gets his new hero ability here, or the special ability, and it says Jeet Kune Do cards are kept in a separate deck. Whenever Bruce Lee plays a Jeet Kune Do card, shuffle it back to the Jeet Kune Do card, back into the deck and after the combat resolve. So basically all his Jeet Kune Do cards are all separate. And then if we flip this card over, we can see there are villain rules here. So this is, once again, not related to the Unmatched Adventures rules here, but this is Jack North's villain system. And this says the villain takes 1 action for each player in the game, even if their fighters have been defeated, so it doesn't change once the game has started. Don't forget the villain's special ability, we saw that. And then on the villain's turn, for each action, play the top card of the villain's deck. Resolve the scheme, attack, and versatile effects. On your turn, when the villain is attacked, they defend by playing the top card of their deck. Resolve the defense and versatile effects. When the villain's deck is empty, reshuffle their discard pile and form a new deck. So they never get exhaustion damage, and they have those cards. I believe he has like 10, 14 cards in his deck, and then the Jeet Kune Do cards is like all the Jeet Kune Do cards. But then we also have one more rules card here, the Villain Rules 2. The player that went first this round controls the villain and makes any tie-breaking decisions for it. Then play passes to the next player in turn order. They go first this round and will control the villain. If the villain has multiple fighters, it can move towards or attack. It chooses heroes first, and then chooses the fighter with the most health second. The villain always boosts when it's given the opportunity, and blind boosts instead of boosting, so yeah, just discard the top card of their deck. For effects that interact with the villain's hand, use the top 4 cards of the villain's deck as its hand, return the cards in the order you took them, so we can easily do that. Any effects that would have the villain choose to discard a card, resolve as the villain is discarding the top card of the deck. For all other decisions, to flip a coin or roll a dice randomly to determine the villain's choice. So, obviously, it's a classic co-op game. And then the last thing here is we have a little token, and that just tells you how many actions they've done. So since we're only playing with myself right now, so he's only going to have 1 action, so he just has 1 token. It's not really going to be helpful to keep track of his 1 action. But if we were playing with 4 players, it'd be 4 actions to take care of, and you would have 4 of these little guys here. Let me get them all set up here. So you have 4, and then you would say that's like action 1, action 2, action 3, action 4, and then you can flip them all back over at the end of the turn. But obviously we're not going to be playing with that many actions, so it's just me myself. So we just have that 1 to keep track of. So it's just there for regular purposes. But yeah, let me call me wife back, and I shall get a game started here. Alright, thank you for waiting for that short intermission. We can get a match started here and test this out. We'll get everything reloaded in. Every time I use my phone for something else, it deletes everything, but once it's reconnected, it'll put everything back in there. We just gotta give it a second to reconnect to the same room. There we go. Oh, I gotta retype in the room code. Give me just a second here, guys. 17. I'm not gonna say it out loud. 535. You would assume that I'm small enough where no one would join, but last time we had people joining. There we go. So it's gonna connect us here, and then we can get started. And then if anything doesn't make sense, just leave a comment and we'll take a look at it, and we'll figure it out together. So on Yukon here, I'm gonna be all Bigfoot in the Jackalope versus Bruce Lee. So I'm player 1, so I'm going to start off here. So first thing we got to do is shuffle this deck. We should probably do the same thing with these guys while we think about it. Give it a couple shuffles, give it a couple shuffles, and then let's draw our hand of 5 cards here. And I will zoom in on all of these so we can see what we have, and I'll zoom out just slightly so we can see just a little bit better here. And then, there we go. So, starting hand of 5, we got our regroup, we got our scrimmage, We have the Jackalope Horns. We got another regroup. And we got a Hoax. So I'm pretty happy with that. So, I mean, obviously we can just go right in there and try to smack him up before he has a chance. He only has 14 health. It's just he gets one action. So, I mean, I get a free card for ending my turn if there's no opposing fighters in Bigfoot zone. Do I want to position myself so that I have more zone option? I could go here and I'll be in his zone. Yeah, so let's start off with a maneuver. We'll add another card here. And you know what? I'm gonna. What do I want to do here? I'll throw away a regroup. I'll boost my maneuver so I can get way up in there. So we have a move of 5. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Be right up next to him, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. So we're up in there. We have one more action, and then let's try to hit him hard right off the bat here. And it'll be our after combat. If you won the combat, choose one of the fighters in the combat zone, move up 2 spaces, so we can kind of get away too. So I'm gonna try to attack Bruce Lee here. And so how it works here is you will draw 1 card from his deck here. So we got Bring It On, and then so we are going to the boost value is actually gonna be his defense value. So he's defending with 1 with this card. And then we ignore, I believe, let me just double check. I believe we ignore the scheme effect there, and we just do the during combat. Do I have it immediately? I do. Mine's after combat. So mine's a 4. His is a 1. So his during is, this card has +1 value for each opposing fighter in Bruce Lee's zone. So actually there's 2 in his zone, so it's actually going to be a 3 versus a 4. So he's only going to take just the 1 damage. And then my after combat is, if you won the combat, choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them 2 spaces. Let's push Bruce Lee away so that he's away from both me and Jackalope. And then that's the end there. So that's my turn. And then we can discard this card. So remember, once his deck is fully empty, you will reshuffle that discard back in there. And then it's time for Bruce Lee to take a turn. So we're going to draw him a card here. And he starts with a big boy. So once again, this is an attack card. So we resolve the attack effect right away. And this says Bruce Lee moves 4 spaces towards the nearest opponent. So that's going to be me, the Bigfoot. And then he has, so we ignore the defense one, so I get to choose to defend here. And this is, during combat, this attack has -1 for each space Bruce Lee moved prior to attacking. He moved 2 spaces, so it's going to be a 4. So I can go straight 4. What do I want to do here? Oh, also I didn't draw my card because there was no opposing fighters in my space, so I have one more card. What do I want to defend with? It's going to be 4. I'm at 16. I feel like this is going to be one of his bigger cards, so this might be good to do this, but I don't really want to move him. But that's fine. Let's discard this one real fast. And then, yeah, I'm going to play this 4. So it's 4 versus 4, so I take 0 damage, and then my after combat happens. If you won the combat, I won because I took no damage. Choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 2 spaces. I'm going to choose to move nothing. So we move that to our discard. We move that to our discard. And remember, Bruce Lee here only has the 1 action because it's a versus 1 opponent. So his turn's over. So we go right back to me here. And let's see here. What exactly do I want to do? Look, remember this one. Move the Jackalope up to 5 spaces. You may move the Jackalope through spaces containing opposing fighters. Then deal 2 damage to any 1 fighter adjacent to the Jackalope. Yeah, we can do that. Make him kind of run through. Let's do that first. Action number 1. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll discard that. And Bruce Lee here takes 2 damage. And then I got one more action. And I'm going to maneuver so I can get my extra card here. So I'll draw 1 card. We got a feint. That's nice. And this is very powerful in this matchup, so we get to see what his thing does before we decide to play feint. Then we move 3 spaces, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 away from him, so I'm not in the same zone. And then 1, 2, so let's actually, I was here. So that's 1, 2, 3 is the closest, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to go here. So 1, 2, so he's 4 spaces away, which is fine. And that's the end of my turn, and then there's no opposing fight, or I believe it's both of them, right? At the end of your turn, if there's no opposing fighters in Bigfoot zone, draw 1 card. There's no opposing fighters, so I'm going to draw my 1 card for free. And there we go. Larger than life. Big old Bigfoot. I'm happy with that. Let's keep that there. And then Bruce Lee here is going to take his turn. We'll draw his card. And this is Nunchaku. So it's on his turn, so everything's going to go except for the defense, I believe. We will flip this over and check. Yep, so everything except for defense is going to happen. All of Bruce Lee's attacks have +1 value until the end of the turn. Bruce Lee gains 1 action. After combat, Bruce Lee deals 2 damage. Oh, sorry. Well, that doesn't work because it's not a defense. So he gets another action, and it's +1 on his next one. So let's see what he does. Let's see. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So it's a pink effect because it's versatile scheme and defense. So this one is when this card is played or discarded, place at the bottom of Bruce Lee's deck or discard pile, then place the top card of the Jeet Kune Do deck in its place. And applies to boosting. So we're going to discard this, and we want to place it on the bottom. It's not going to let us do that, but we'll just assume that the other card's on top, if that makes sense. Let's just leave it as is. So we will draw from the Jeet Kune Do deck instead, and this is going to be the card that he would have played. So let's see here. It says Bruce Lee moves 3 spaces toward the nearest opposing fighter. So obviously, Bigfoot here's going to be the closest. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces there. And then he has after combat versatile. Bruce Lee swaps places with the opposing fighter, and then after combat Bruce Lee gains 1 action. And he has +1, so this is a 5. Do we want to just stop him in his tracks? It'll still be a 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's feint this guy. So it's going to be 5 versus 2, and then his other stuff doesn't happen. So we'll place that in the Jeet Kune Do discard pile. And then discard this. So it was a difference of 3, so I'm going to be taking 3 damage here. But I'm not too scared, not too scared. And that's going to be the end of his turn, because he only gets that 1 action. So he played Nunchaku, gained an action, played that other card that replaced itself. And that's how he got that 3rd card. Very cool. And then let's just slap him up here. Larger than life. He's right next to us. Let's slap him and run. A big old wallop in the face with our log, and then we'll go. So we're going to do the 1 or the 6 attack there. And let's see what he defends with here. So his is a 3 defense. While this card's on top of Bruce Lee's discard, all Jeet Kune Do cards have +1 value. Okay. And Bruce Lee gains 1 action, but that's only on his turn. So it's just a 3, technically. And then his Jeet Kune Do will get +1 as long as it's on the top of the discard pile. So 3 versus 6. He's going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Oop, let's not flip that over. 1. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Coolly, coolly, cool deal. And then we can throw this in the discard pile. And then we got 1 more action, so let's maneuver so we can... Oh, another larger than life. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's get out of his zone, but stay nearby so that we can get some attacks in. Let's go 1, 2. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3 with the Jackalope here. So we're out of his zone. We're going to get that extra card for ending our turn. And we got another feint. Yeah, this is going to be a slap. I think... It was kind of unfair, all his cancels with Bruce Lee, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. So Bruce Lee's going to take his turn. He gets 1 action. Let's bring this up here. So Bruce Lee moves 4 spaces towards the opposing fighter with the least health. So Jackalope's going to have less health there, but he's not going to be able to reach him. So this is going to be a whiff. It's 4 spaces. Oh no, he can reach him. I moved him close enough. So there's 1, 2, 3. So he's going to be attacking the Jackalope this time. And his is during combat, if your fighter has 5 or less health, this card's value is 6, and he does not have that. So it's just going to be a 3. And we have a couple ennies. Do we want an extra card draw? I think, are we just cool with Jackalope taking 3 damage? And we have a lot of cards. We could just replace a card. I think... Let's... Hoax isn't any, so you can get out of there later. Yeah. Let's just play regroup to go down by 1. So 3 versus that's going to be 2. And then, of course, my after combat here is draw 1 card. If you won, draw 2. I didn't win. That's totally fine. And then he's going to have an after that will work this time. So we'll throw that away. Throw this away, and I get my 1 card. Add that to my hand there. And, ooh, here we go. Crash the trees. So now it's going to be my turn because he gets just the 1 action. We could potentially try a version where he gets 2 actions because his 1 action seems a little too easy. But that's why we're testing it out to see if we like it. So far, it's been fun. Let's go and let's hoax with the Jackalope, and then he's going to be defending here. And the weight of the water is no longer on the top of the discard pile, so he's not getting those bonuses. Fist of Fury, so he's not attacking, so he doesn't get that one. So it's a 0 defense, but he gets a free 5 attack back. So that's kind of sucky. So it's gonna be 4. I'll have to ask, because technically, I mean, no, I think he still gets the attack whether or not I move away, because the attack already happens, you know. So I get a free 4 damage in there, and he's at 8, so he's getting real low. He's only at 4 health. We're still at 13 and 4. I'm not scared at all here. But then he gets a free 5 attack back. So first of all, we can use our after combat move your fighter 5 spaces. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that he's behind the Bigfoot there. And we'll discard this, and so he gets his 5 attack for free. And it's going to be against the Jackalope, so you do want to defend that. And we actually activate Momentous Shift here with if your fighter started this turn in a different space, which he did. So let's Momentous Shift with Jackalope, bring it up to a 5. It'll match that 5, so then it's a 0 technically, like, damage-wise. And that's going to be the end of Bruce Lee's turn. And he was actually defending, now that I think about it. So I still have one more action. Still my turn. I've got to remember whose turn it is. It's mine. I think we're just going to maneuver and get ourselves in a little bit more advantage space. What do we got here? Disengage, choose an empty space in the fighter zone, place this fighter in that zone. So let's just go 1 there. Just get Jackalope just slightly farther away, and I'll keep Bigfoot there. I'm gonna be in range. I guess I can go 1, or else he's here. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 spaces. He's gonna be able to get him. So I do want to protect Jackalope, so I'm gonna do that. I think that sounds like a good idea. And then let me, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna make the window slightly bigger so that you guys can see a little bit more of the action here. There we go. How does that look? Does that look a lot better? Can zoom in even more if we need to. There we go. I feel like we can see a lot more of what's going on there. There we go. Okay. So I got I guess I'm doing my maneuver. So we were here. Let's move him back. We got 3 spaces. I don't want poor Jackalope to get punched. So yeah, let's just move him there. And we'll move back 1 space. So maybe Bruce Lee will whiff. We'll see if that works out for us. So yeah, Jackalope there. Bigfoot on top. And then we get our 1 more card because we're not sharing any zones. Another hoax, that's nice. And then Bruce Lee's gonna do his turn, and it's gonna be that Hua card. So he's gonna be playing the, what's it called? The Jikundo. And they have you put on the bottom just in case like the Way of Water card was on top, but we'll just remember that. So it's gonna replace it with this card here. He's gonna be playing this one instead. So he's gonna do some actions here. So wrist lock. Bruce Lee moves 3 spaces towards the nearest opposing fighter. So 1, 2, 3. He will be in range to attack us. So he's attacking us with a 4. Immediately, your fighters cannot move for the rest of the turn. Placement effects still resolve. Placement effects. Okay. After combat, Bruce Lee gains an action. So he's gonna make me not be able to move if I don't cancel it. He's at 4 health, so I kind of want him to like do something cool. And I can't move, but I'll just do this. So it's 4/4, so it's nothing. I could have just fainted it and taken 2 damage, but I want Bruce Lee to do something fun here. Let's just see what he does. So he's gonna discard that. He's gonna do, and also, I forgot about this. You don't put in a discard pile every time you put it back and every time you shuffle. So we gotta remember that because you can play the same one twice. So we're gonna draw a new one here. And let's see what we got. So he's gonna do downward side kick. Bruce Lee moves 2 spaces towards the nearest opposing fighter. He's already adjacent to us. We're good there. And then it would be return your card to your hand, and play 1 random card. Oh, I think we're not supposed to reveal. I think it's supposed to be secret, and we don't get to see the card. That would make a lot more sense. So we gotta. We'll do that in the next game. At least in the next one. So I'm not gonna read the rest. So I'll choose what I want to do first. So I'm just gonna cancel because I want him to stop beating us up. So it's going to be 2 versus 2, and he's not going to gain an action because I cancels effects there. Cool. So just 2 versus 2. So I'm just going to take 2 damage. Or sorry, 4 versus 2. That's what I meant, 2 damage. And then you're going to return this to the deck, and then shuffle the deck. It doesn't go in a discard pile. And then that would be the end of his turn. It's time for us. And let's just big ol' wallop. Larger than life. Let's do it. Let's see what he's got here. He's going to defend with a 0. He's going to defend with a 0 defense. Once again, reminding you that the boost value is what he's defending with. Little dragon here, and then we ignore the attack there. And during combat, this card has +1 value for each card in Bruce Lee's discard pile. I think he has a lot. How do we discard to hand? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards. So it's an 8 of freaking defense. Good thing it wasn't an attack, because that is scary. Now let's put those all back in the... let's put these back in the discard pile. I'm going to move them over just a little bit. A little off screen, but that's fine. Let's discard back those. So it's going to be an 8. An 8 defense. So, yeah, he's not taking any damage from Larger Than Life. And here's the thing. He only has one of those, right? He has 1 copy of this, so we can try to hit him once again, but then we're going to not really have any cards. So, Gem, Space, and Fire Zone, puts that fire there. Let's go ahead and just maneuver away so we can have more cards here. Let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is it? Yeah, there's not really a way for me to get out of his zone to get my free card, so I'll just go there. That's fine. And then Bruce Lee's going to go. And so I'm trying to figure out if I'm not allowed to see the card. Maybe that's why it doesn't work with. I guess we're just not supposed to read what it does. I guess that's all we can really do. But yeah, so we're gonna do a Jeet Kune Do card. So put that back in the discard pile, and then we're gonna just always shuffle it before we draw, just to be sure. But here we go. So let's just see what the move is, and then we won't read the card effects. Bruce Lee moves 3 spaces towards the nearest opposing fighter. So 1, 2, 3. So he's adjacent. He's gonna attack. So we won't really look at it. And the only thing we can defend with, unless we just want to take it, I think we want to take it because he's gonna gain an action and keep fighting. So let's just take it, and we'll stomach this one. Oh, let me recenter us there. Perfect. And we can move our card up here. So yeah, we're just gonna stomach it. So he's gonna do a 4. Immediately, Bruce Lee deals 2 damage to your fighter, so I'm getting 2 damage off the bat. And then after, so then it's 4, so we take 4 damage because I didn't defend at all. 2, 3, 4. And then lastly, after combat, Bruce Lee gains 1 action. Okay, so we will return it to the deck, and then shuffle it. And then he's going to attack us again, and let's see what we got here. So he's going to do Be Like Water. While this card is in the top of Bruce Lee's discard, all Jeet Kune Do cards have +1 value. Bruce Lee gains 1 action. So he's going to immediately shuffle it anyway, so I guess he's not going to get that. But let's shuffle his discard pile. We're going to shuffle his deck a couple times. And so he's going to go again. Oh, I didn't look at his thing. Shoot. Let's draw until we get that card, because I did not do his attack. Oh no, it was a scheme. It was a scheme. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Let's move this back over. Discard. Oop. And then we will return all discard and shuffle this bad boy. Cool. There's a better angle for you. Okay. So he's gonna be attacking here, and it's gonna be Like Water again. So he's gonna put a top of his discard, get another action. So if he gets a Hua, ooh, this is not good. So we're gonna pretend like this is on the bottom of the discard. So we're gonna put it over here for now. So he gets a Jeet Kune Do, and I'm gonna return this real fast. Return discard. So I'm gonna make sure we shuffle this, and then we draw our 1 card. And so he's gonna be doing the downward side kick for 4. And once again, I'm not supposed to read it, so let's just see. I mean, he's already adjacent, so we're good. So now we need... He might just keep going. Okay. I gotta defend with a 3. It's not gonna do anything for bonuses there. So 3. Bruce Lee moves 2 spaces. Return your card to your hand and discard 1 random card. You may then play a card to attack or defend. Yikes. So, obviously I can't do random very well. So what I'm gonna do here is... Let's see here. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll roll a die. So 1, 2, 3, then it's 4, 5, 6. Let's roll a d6 here. Let's see what number we get. 6. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're discarding the 1 card we can use to defend. So that freaking sucks. So we're gonna be taking a lot of damage here and potentially die actually. So yeah, so it's gonna be a 4 attack. So we're gonna go down to 1 health. Yeah, I think we're dead. So then he's going to gain 1 action, and once again we gotta put this back in his discard pile, and shuffle his deck, and then he attacks once more, and it's Hoya again. So once again, this goes to the bottom of your discard, so he gets +1. Oh, the last one got +1, so actually I'm dead. That was pretty anticlimactic, but yeah, I'm dead because that was +1. Because Be Like Water here. It won't let me see. Draw from discard face up. Here we go. So Be Like Water here is, while this card's at the top of your discards pile, all Jikundo cards have +1. He just played a Jikundo card, so he had +1. He beat us. And then this one says it goes in the bottom of the discard pile, so it doesn't negate that other effect. So yeah, so Bruce Lee beat us. And I was going easy on him because I was kind of like, this guy kind of sucks, but I guess I just wasn't ready for him. So yeah, so that was our first game with Bruce Lee. It seemed easy at first, and then it got hard. I mean, he beat us. So obviously this next time I'm not going to be cocky. So let's get rid of, actually, yeah, we can just get rid of everything because I'm going to go on a different map as well, actually. So let's get a full reset here, and then Vorpal is controlled on the app. I'm going to pull out the app here, and then I need Soho for this one. So it'll pull it up over there. And then we are also going to do the player that we're going to be. We're going to play as Invisible Man here on Soho. And let me get it all set up before I reveal who we're fighting. Another villain deck. Let's pull him over here. And I'm going to put him on space 2. We're going to let the opponent go first. I believe space 2 is up here, right? Up in the corner? Yeah, space 1's up there, space 2's over here. So I'll start here. I don't get to place my fog tokens right away. We'll start the game after you place Invisible Man places 3 fog tokens in separate spaces in his zone. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's my zone. So I'm gonna do 1 way up here. I'm gonna do 1 on top of the house here, and then 1 on my starting space, just to be safe. Then when Invisible Man is on a space with the fog token, add +1 to the value of his defense cards. Invisible Man may move between 2 spaces with fog tokens as if they were adjacent. So that's why we want 1 to start off on. And we have our deck here. We're gonna make sure we shuffle this up. Then it looks like we are kind of off to the side here, so let's pull this in the middle. And then, of course, we have our 15 health dial here with move 2. And let's draw our 5 cards to start the game here. That way we can see what's going on here. We got both of our Dreaming of Revenge. This kind of sucks to have early on. So I think, yeah, we're going to mulligan this. So we're going to return it to the deck, shuffle the deck, and draw 5 cards. And we got it back. We got both back. Well, that freaking sucks. Did I not shuffle it? Because this is the exact same hand we had. What am I doing here? Discard, return discard, shuffle. I'm going to make sure I shuffle, and draw 5. If I get the exact same 5 again, okay, there we go. So this is guaranteed a different hand at least. I got both of those. That's fine. Okay, cool. That's our starting hand. And then let me get out my Vorpal app again. We're going to be fighting the boss, Dracula. Dracula is who we're going to be fighting today. So we are going to place Dracula there. And then we're just going to put his sisters, 1 in each space around Dracula here, as if that's what he chose to do. So Dracula versus the Invisible Man. And then once again, if this is the first match you're watching, this is a villain deck that we're playing against. So let me put this right here. I'm also going to put that off to the side. Press health up top so we can see. And then we get a action token for both of them here. So how this works, we'll pull this guy up here. So Dracula here, of course, is still a melee fighter. He's fighting one player. It's one action with 13 health. All the way up to 4 players. He gets 4 actions, so 1 for each player. And then 28 health. This says at the start of Dracula's turn, he deals 1 damage to a fighter adjacent to him. He chooses opposing fighters before he targets allied fighters. Whenever Dracula defeats a fighter, he recovers 2 health. So in this case, Dracula on his first turn is going to be killing one of his people. So I'm going to do this because I feel like this is what a player would do, because you don't want to kill off one of your people right away. Yeah, it's their turn. And this one is, at the start of Dracula's turn, if there are no sisters on the board, discard the top card of Dracula's deck, place a number of defeated sisters equal to its boost value adjacent to Dracula. And of course this happens after his. If you notice, the sisters get more. So with a 1-player game, there's 3 sisters, then 4 sisters, 5 sisters, 6 sisters. And then it's 1 action for every single one. So the sisters always just get 1 action, but there's more sisters. And you'll see that they get some crazy stuff. And then over here, these tokens tell you if they've used up their action or not. So there's 1 token for each. I think we should be able to remember, but you can use those if there's a lot going on. And then on the back here, we have just a reminder here. The villains take 1 action for each player in the game, even if their fighters have been defeated. So whatever amount of actions they start with, they continue with until the game's over. On the villain's turn, they resolve the scheme, attack, and versatile effects. On your turn, they resolve only the defense and the versatile. When the villain's deck is empty, reshuffle their discard pile to form a new deck. So they never run out of cards, and they never take exhaustion damage. So it's just 1 person here, which is me. So we're going to have that 13 health, so let's adjust that correctly. And then I think we should be good. And then on the back of the minions, because we didn't play with the minion this last time. Minions take 1 action regardless of the amount of players of the game. Don't forget the minions have a special ability. We did see that. And then they do the same stuff when the minions deck is empty, reshuffle their discard pile to form a new deck. So basically the exact same thing. And then I'll bring this up here. We have a villain's rules card number 2. This one is the player that went first this round controls the villain and makes any tie-breaking decisions for it. And then play passes to the next player in turn order. They go first this round and will continue the villain. If the villain has multiple fighters, it can move towards or attack. He chooses heroes first and chooses the fighter with the most health second. There's a couple other effects here. One thing that it doesn't say, which we were kind of playing with last round, is I'm guessing that's why you choose 1 player to be the villains. But on the card, it'll tell you where they move. So like their maneuvers are on the attack card. You know what? It could be like you play 1 card to do the move, and then the next card is the attack. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to ask that. Let me quickly message, actually, because that is a good question. This is why we're testing it out, because just reading the cards, you kind of forget about little things. And in this case, it's, do you reveal the card to get the move and then use that same card, or you get a new card? Because it might be a new card now that I think about it. Let me message Joey here with the boss decks. Flip a card to see the villain's movement, then attack with that same card, or do you take out, or do you use another card for the actual attack, so it's unknown, so its effects are unknown before you defend, then discarding both cards after the reaction. Hopefully I worded that right. I think you'll understand. I got the shortest brief description of it, and then I just had to read it, but I realized they don't really say that. Maybe we can read through it again. Maybe I'm missing something. Villain takes one action for each player. For each action, play the top card of the villain's deck. So it doesn't say like that you use a second card. I'm not sure. Like maybe we can. Oh, he responded right away. Card flip is the movement and the attack. Okay. So you get to see the card's value and effect when choosing a defense card. The card is flipped. Wait. The card flipped up is the movement and the attack. Boss stuff is played face up, so you know what you're fighting. Okay. Oh yeah. So he said you do get defend. It doesn't quite make sense for that Bruce Lee card that makes you put your card back because you just choose any a card. So let's try it the other way this time, and that can be our home rule, the old Brunt Trost special maybe, because I think that would be a little bit more interesting because then you don't know. I think if you're playing with friends, it's like that makes sense because your friend could tell you how much it moves and not tell you what the effect is. So I'm not sure, but let's try it the other way and just see if that's fun. Because this is our first minion one too, so he's getting 2 actions every turn. The solo fighter Bruce Lee was just getting that 1 action, so it kind of felt weak at first, and then of course he beat us because we were underestimating him. So yeah, let's get into this. So he gets to go first. I let him be player 1 here. So let's play it our way for just a second and see how it works. So we'll pull out his card, and his card says Dracula moves 3 spaces towards the fighter with the mosty health. I think it's just most health, then makes his attack. Okay, so he will move 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the closest he can get. Who's here? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's the closest he can get to us. So he can't attack, so that's just a whiff. So he will discard that card. Oh, and let's move everything back so that his discard is not on the map. And then we can also zoom out a little bit. Is that better? So everybody can see everything correctly. Let me line you up here. Cool. And then these sisters get an action. So this is kind of fun. This is our first, make sure this is shuffled, our first sidekick action, because their movement is on their card too. So let's pull this up. Move each sister 3 spaces towards the nearest fighter. Each sister then makes this attack. Okay. So yeah, once again, we're gonna break the rules just to see if this is worth it. So 1, 2, 3. So they're gonna be in attack range. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Is that closer, or is it 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3 down is gonna be closer. 1, 2, 3 is gonna be closest to the Invisible Man. So they're lined up in a row, and so once again, we're gonna try our way here and see if it works any better. We're gonna discard this card, and then choose. Let's see, draw to the table face down. So this is the card that they're attacking with, and we don't know what it is. So this is kind of fun, because now we're like, okay, what is it going to do here? Your opponent may choose to discard 1 card. If they do not, you may move each fog token to any other space. So how would we do that? I mean, obviously, we would want them to do it into thin air, move his land up to 1 space. Your opponent then moves a fog token up to 2 spaces. You see, now this is difficult. See, this was a good fighter to choose, because it's kind of like what would he choose? The value of your opponent's attack or defense is 0 and cannot be changed. Other effects don't happen. Do we want to do that? Do we want to do that? Invisible Man is on a space with a fog token, deals damage to anyone opposing fighter. And I get +1 defense because I'm on my fog token. That's another reason why I wanted to keep it there, because I felt like they were going to be able to reach me. I'm going to say, I don't know. I guess you just get to choose what the opponent does, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Let's flip over their card here and see what it is. Oh, so it's a scheme. So I put the card back in my hand. Once again, this is not really meant for 1 player, but this is why we're figuring this out. Choose the fighter with the most health in a sister zone. Place that fighter adjacent to as many sisters as possible. Then deal 1 damage to them for each sister adjacent to them. So of course, the opposing fighter with the most health is me. And if you move myself here, I'll be adjacent to 2, so I'll take 2 damage. That's kind of interesting. You gotta kidnap me there. So I get 15 health, so I'm at 13 now. And then that is my turn, because they did their actions each. We'll discard that. It does burn through their deck for more. Yeah, I don't know. Look, maybe there's like a symbol or something that you can tell how much they move or whatever. Not sure. Let's just go ahead with our turn here. So do we want to attack? The value of your opponent's attack or defense is 0 cannot be changed by card effect. So I can just straight up kill a sister, huh? Use the mana space as fog token deals 2 damage to your opposing fighter. Can't do that. Your opponent may just choose to discard 1 card. If they do not, you may move each fog token to any other space. So let's do that because he's going to choose not to discard because he doesn't have a card to discard. So a little unfair, but that's why it's an opponent. It's a computer. What is he going to do here? So I'm going to attack a sister. I'm going to attack this sister here. So let's see what the sister defends with up here. So I have a 3 versus a... Ooh, it's a 0, but it says, during combat, this card has +1 value for each other sister adjacent to your fighter. Each other sister. So it's just going to be a 1 because I'm fighting this one. The other sister is that one. So 1 versus 3, it's 2 damage. This one dies. So bye-bye, sister. And then nothing else happens on their card, so we can discard that. And then mine says your opponent may choose to discard 1 card. If they do not, you may move each fog token to any other space. They're going to choose not to because they don't have a hand to discard anyways. So I'm going to move 1 into my space. I like that a lot. And then I'm going to move 1... Yeah, move here, and then I'm going to move 1 into the middle here. I like that. I like that. And then this is discard off. And let's see here. Do I want to... I might... Oh yeah, it has to be on a fog... I guess I could have moved it onto a fog token. So I could move it onto Dracula instead, so I can play this card. The invisible man is on a space with a fog token, deal 2 damage to any... Oh, invisible man is on a space with the fog. That's what... So we'll leave it there, our original decision there. If invisible man is on a space with the fog token, deal 2 damage to any one opposing fighter. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll just deal 2 damage to Dracula and just get that extra oomph in early. And we still have a lot of defense here, especially our 2 kind of just like full cancels, or like value cancels, so we're good there. So it's going to be Dracula's turn. Dracula goes first. And so once again, it's... I want to try the one where I don't know what he's going to play, but... Because... Do we stick... What do you think, guys? Do we stick with the we don't know what he's going to play? Because I think that's kind of more fun. And then if it turns out to be a scheme, then we just take a card back. I think that's better. I mean, obviously, he's going to get a bigger attack in if I don't do that, but that's how we started, so let's stick with that. So yeah, here we have Beast Form. So his is Dracula moves 5 spaces towards the fighter with the most health, and then makes this attack. So let's move him here. And once again, that's not how it's supposed to be played, but we're going to test this out and see if it works better, then we can help reword the cards later. So he discards, so now he's in range to attack, and then he will finish up his attack. It wastes more cards, but he's going to be playing a scheme instead. Place Dracula in any space adjacent to the hero with the least health. Dracula gains 1 action. So he already was there, so he's just going to keep going. And then it's going to be... sorry, let's put this back, return to the deck, and then shuffle it up. So I don't get to see what his attack is. That's... I gotta remember that. So shuffle up his deck. So do I want to choose to defend here? So his big one's gone. We know that. So moves 1 space. Then your opponent moves a fog to 3 spaces. So yeah, it's like obviously you just choose which one's your best one, and like be like your opponent's gonna move that one. But and I get +1 to my defense here, and I believe you have to play a card. Base, I look at his defense card. Yeah, so I don't just get a free defense. Yeah, let's. I mean, I'm at 13. His big one's gone. Let's just let him attack. Let's let him attack. Oh, it's the one that we drew anyways. Oh, where'd he go? It's right here. Okay, so 3 attack. So Dracula moves 4 spaces towards the fighter with the least health and makes this attack. During combat, if you do not defend this attack... Oh, I did not defend. Dracula gains 1 action. During combat, add the boost value of your card to this card's value. So I didn't defend, so it's just 3. He gains 1 action. And I think... The 2-card thing isn't working. I mean, they're all balanced around not doing that, so we'll just ignore it. I think in a like multiple player thing it would work better, but this is 1v1, so we're just not gonna do it. So I'm gonna take 3 damage, but he gains another action because I didn't defend. But he hasn't even done the sisters yet, so yeah, this is a lot scarier. And he's gonna do it. Oh wait, yeah, I get to know. Which is kind of sad because it was kind of fun not to know. But yeah, So he's gonna move 4 spaces to least fighter, which is me. He's already adjacent, so we're gonna keep that as is. And then during combat, it's gonna be if you do not defend this attack, directly gains an action. So yeah, let's just go ahead and cancel it out. Let's just cancel it out. So mine is a 2. Immediately, the value of your opponent's attack or defense is 0, and cannot be changed by other card effects. Other effects still happen, so it's not going to change. He's not going to gain that action. So then he gets to discard this one, discard mine, and then these sisters get to take a turn. Let's see what the sisters do. Okay, move each sister 3 spaces towards the nearest fighter. Each sister then makes this attack. Each sister then makes this attack. Am I reading that right? So they get to attack each? I mean, I guess, okay. I mean, this sister can't even make it to me, and this sister can't. So it's going to be 1 anyway. So I'm guessing that one means that multiple sisters can attack. So, like, if 3 were next to me, they get 3 attacks, and I have to defend all 3. I guess it's just 1. And then, yeah, so thirst for sustenance. So, yeah, so just 1 attacks me. It's going to be after combat of sister 1 that's combat, place Dracula place adjacent to any fighter that lost this combat. Yeah, I'm gonna just take it because that's just 1 damage, and then Dracula's already adjacent to me. But to be fair to him, I'm gonna move him adjacent down here because that would be better for him, so his other sister can move in later. Obviously worse for me, but I think that's what the opponent would do. Sister 1, yeah, so we're good there. So then we can discard that. Both have taken their turn. Time for me, and let's maneuver just so I can get an extra card and see what we got here. Step lightly, deal 1 damage to 1 opposing fighter. If your invisible man is out of space with a fog token, deal 3 damage instead. Your opponent then moves a fog token up to 2 spaces. I mean, I have some great defenses here. I'm trying to move invisible man up to 1 space. Your opponent then moves a fog token 3 spaces. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's just get this damage in. Let's just do it. Deal 1 damage to 1 up adjacent to fighter. If the invisible man is out of space with fog token with 3 spaces instead, or sorry, 3 damage instead. Your opponent then moves a fog token up to 2 spaces. So we're going to play this, and then we get to deal 3 damage to an adjacent guy because we're on fog. It's going to be, of course, Dracula. So he'll be at 8. And then he will move a fog token, correct? Let me just double check. I can't because it's not going to let me. But he gets to move a fog token of his choice up to 2 spaces. Obviously, if I was him, I would take the fog token that I'm on and move that over here. Because that really sucks for me, but that's what the opponent would do if it was a real opponent. And then I have no more actions because I maneuvered and I played that card. So Dracula used to go here. Let's see what Dracula does. He's going to be playing a scheme. Place Dracula in any space adjacent to here with the least health. Dracula gains 1 action. He's already adjacent, so he's just going to stay there. He gains an action, so he's going to go again. Let's see what he does the second time. It's going to be for do my bidding. Dracula moves 3 spaces towards the nearest opposing fighter, then makes his attack. He's already adjacent, so he's fine. Immediately return your card to your hand, then you must play a card with the lowest printed value in your hand. So I'm going to have to do that anyway, so it's going to be this one. So impossible to see, it's a 0 and he can't change it, so 0 versus 2 is going to be no damage to me. So that just ends there. And then these sisters are going to take a turn. Let's see what the sisters are going to do here. Feeding Frenzy. Move each sister 3 spaces towards the fighter with the least health. The sister adjacent to the fighter with the most health then makes his attack. Move each sister 3 spaces towards the fighter with the least health. The sister adjacent to the fighter with the most health then makes his attack. Okay, so they're all going to move up close to me. I mean, they're both, so we'll just say the one on the left will attack me. During combat, this card has +1 value for each other sister adjacent to your fighter. Other sisters, so this is going to be a 2. I don't want to waste that, so I'm just going to take the damage. I'll just take the 2 damage. So I'm at 7, he's at 8. And then it's going to be me, because he takes 2 actions. Let's maneuver 1. Banish, recover 1 health from invisible man from the board. Start your next turn, place invisible man in any space. We can save that. We can save that. I'll maneuver it. Oh, well, first of all, I get 2 spaces because I maneuver. No, I don't, because he has me trapped. Shoot. That's fine. Is that fine? Sorry, I'm going to undo this one. Turn deck I forgot that I'm surrounded. Yeah, for my second action, should I vanish? Let's go ahead and vanish. Why not? We're having fun here. So, little boy goes off the thing. He recovers 1 health. He's going to come back later. Dracula gets to take his turn, I think. Unless it gives him, like, a thing, it's not going to do anything, because that doesn't do anything. Sisters. Oh, they have a scheme. Move each fighter adjacent to an opposing fighter. Wait, move each sister. Oh no, that's only for combat. No wait, I'm pretty sure actually. For each action, play the top card of the villain's deck. Resolve all 3 effects. So I don't think it matters if he's in combat. Move each sister adjacent to an opposing fighter 3 spaces towards Dracula. Move each other sister space. Wait. Move each sister adjacent to an opposing fighter 3 spaces towards Dracula. Move each other sister 2 spaces towards the nearest opposing fighter. So that would just mean she would move 1 space closer and then she wouldn't move, I guess. So we'll discard that. Let me recenter you guys. So that's fine. Okay, so then it'll be back to me. So I'm gonna return. Where do I want to go? I'll go here. I'll set up my little fog token, and then I'll start us off with a maneuver. And we got Reign of Terror. If Invisible Man is on a space with a fog token, deal 2 damage to any 1 opposing fighter. I mean, we could do that, but then we're just left with this 1 card. Yeah, I think we need to get 1 more maneuver in. Do we want to run away a little bit or no? Probably not. During combat, if the Invisible Man starts this turn on space with a fog token, discards values 5 instead. So that's cool. Let's run away. Let's go. Boom. Boom. I like that. So Drac is going to be doing something. Let's see what Drac does. Dracula moves 3 spaces towards the fighter with the mosty health, then makes his attack. So 3 spaces towards. So 1, 2, 3 would make him the closest. So he's on a fog's token, which is actually better for me because he'd be 2 spaces away. This is 1 space away, and then he doesn't get to attack. So after combat does not happen. We will discard. And then the sisters get an action. And move each sister adjacent to an opposing. Wait, move each sister adjacent to an opposing fighter 3 spaces. Project each other sister 2 spaces towards the nearest opposing fighter. So we go 2 spaces. 1, 2, 1, 2. So they just took a maneuver turn, which is kind of what we did. So that's kind of fun. And then I'm not on a fog token, so my little guy doesn't work. Let's maneuver and see what we get. After combat, move 1 fog token to a space without a fighter, then place Invisible Man on that space. Yeah, so we'll maneuver down with 1, and then we're going to attack old Drac here with a 3. And so Drac will defend. Let's see what he does here. So his defense is a 0. Dracula deals 2 damage to each fighter adjacent to him, so we are adjacent to him, so we're going to take 2 damage. So we're at 6 now. If Dracula no, so he's not going to do the scheme because it's not his turn. Once again, if you look at the rules here, only schemes happen on his turn. Totally fine. So 3 versus 0. He's going to take 3 damage. Then he doesn't have an after. My after is move 1 fog token to a space without a fighter, then place Invisible Man on that space. So I'm going to take this one. I was on the fog. No, I was on the fog. So I'm going to move there and there. I like that. And that was my turn. I maneuvered and I attacked, so my turn's over. Time for Drac to take his turn, and that's his last card. So after this, he will reshuffle his deck. Prey Upon as a scheme. Dracula deals 2 damage to each fighter adjacent to him. I'm no longer adjacent to. Wait, each fighter adjacent to him. Oh, we were not. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. He should have recovered so much health. We were not doing his hero ability at the start of his turn. Let's start that before this card was played. Man, there's so many rules I forgot. At the start of Dracula's turn, he deals 1 damage to a fighter adjacent to him. He chooses opposing fighters before targeting allied fighters. Whenever Dracula defeats a fighter, he recovers 2 health. So he will bite one of the sisters and recover back to 7. So technically, let's just give him 9 because he would have done it at least once before, right? So we'll try to. If we win this one, we'll say with a little asterisk. So we definitely cheated. Prey Upon. So Dracula does 2 damage to each fighter adjacent to him. So after he killed her, there's not going to be anything adjacent to him. Dracula defeated a fighter this way. Dracula gains 1 action. That did not happen because he got the 2 health instead. Once again, feels a little cheap, but That's why we're figuring out. We're figuring out. So we'll put those back in there, and then we're gonna shuffle his deck a few times so that it'll be good for his next turn. And then on here, let's grab one card. So these sisters will take their turn. And what their ability, which I did not forget, is at the start of Dracula's turn, if there are no sisters on the board, discard the top card of Dracula's deck. Place a number of defeated sisters equal to its boost value adjacent to Dracula. So there's still one sister, so we're good. So sister here. Choose the fighter with the most health in a sister zone. Place that fighter adjacent to as many sisters as possible, then deal 1 damage to them for each sister adjacent to them. So that includes Dracula, right? Choose the fighter with the most health in a sister zone. Place that fighter adjacent to as many sisters as possible, then deal 1 damage to them for each sister adjacent to them. I feel like they mean opposing fighters, because that would not really make sense to move Dracula 1 space towards her and deal him 1 damage. So let's not do it. I feel like it's unfair. I feel like that's not what they meant. They probably meant opposing fighters. So I'm going to put that away, and then we return the discard pile, and we shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So back to old Foggy Boy. So I'm on a fog now. Deal 2 damage to one opposing fighter. We don't want to kill that sister because we don't want the sisters to come back. So we're going to leave that as is. And so the fog tokens are adjacent, and it doesn't matter if it's on there, right? A visible man may move between 2 spaces with a frog token as if they were adjacent. So yeah, I can't go to the space that Dracula's in. So that's fine. Do we want to boost a maneuver? No. This is tough because I want to get over it. I guess I can go kill a sister. I want to kill the sister because that's not gonna let me win. So I'm gonna let's draw a card as if we're gonna maneuver and see if we want to move spaces. Lurking after combat, draw 1 card and choose 1 effect. Move invisible man to a space with fog token. Move 1 fog token through spaces. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna run up on us anyways, so we shouldn't move. And let's just grab 2 cards. Let's just do a good little refresh. Rolling fog, move 1 fog token to another space, gain 1 action. So cool. We'll just leave that as is. Drac's gonna do his thing. Place Dracula in any space adjacent to the here with the least health. Dracula gains 1 action. Okay, so he's gonna go straight adjacent to us, and then he gains 1 action, so we get to keep going. Let's see here. Prey upon. Dracula deals 2 damage to each fighter adjacent to him. If Dracula defeated a fighter, this way get an action. So he's just going to deal 2 damage. That's not going to defeat us, but we're at 4, and we were kind of cheating, so it's pretty scary. So we're going to discard, and then these sisters are going to take an action. Let's see what these sisters do. His starting ability, he didn't have anybody adjacent to him, so that one didn't count. But next, I should probably get away. Flitter. Move each sister adjacent to an opposing fighter. Oh wait, we already did this one, so she's not adjacent, so she's just gonna go 2 towards the nearest opposing fighter. So 1, 2, and then discard that card. Let's be both taking their actions. So we need to friggin' run. If his man starts to turn on space the fog token, this card's values 5 instead. So yeah, so let's punch him and run. Let's punch him and run. So Drac is gonna defend this 5 with a 0. And then we ignore the attack one. So it's just after combat. So he's taking 5. Dang. Just reading it again to make sure. Yeah, he's taking 5. So, I'm going to flip it over. So he's at 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he was at 9. He took 5. So he's at 4. 4 health for Drac here. And just to double check our work here. If Invisible Man started his turn on a space with a fog token, this card's values 5. He had a 0 defense. That boost value is what he defends with. We ignore the attack, and then it's after combat. So we will put this in the discard pile. And then Baptism of Blood. Dracula moves 3 space. Oh, sorry. After combat, you may return a defeated sister to any space on the board. If you do not, Dracula recovers 2 health. See. Oh, I may do it. I may do it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. So I always forget, because usually when you read your cards, the player who's playing it is you. But in this case, since it's a co-op, like solo, it's you, the player, against Dracula. So I get to choose. So do I want to return a defeated sister to any space on the board, or do I want to recover 2 health? I'm going to recover. I'm going to bring her back. I'm going to throw her way over here on this fog token. And then discard. Remember, this is my turn, so I get 1 more action, because I started with an attack. And I'm gonna use mine to deal 2 damage. So I'm gonna discard this guy. Reign of Terror, if Invisible Man is on a space with a fog token, deal 2 damage to any one opposing fighter. So I am on a fog token. I'm going to deal it to Dracula. He's in. Oh, actually no. I need to run away because if I play that, his ability here at the start of Dracula's turn, he deals 1 damage to an opposing fighter adjacent to him. Whenever Dracula defeats a fighter, he recovers. Oh, he defeats a fighter, he recovers 2 health. So he won't recover the 2 health from me attacking me. So that's fine. So yeah. So let's play that. He's gonna take 2 damage. He's gonna be at 2 health here. He's at 2. I'm at 4. I do have some good defenses here, so I'm not too scared. But then that's gonna be the end of my turn. He's gonna start his turn once again. We'll read it. At the start of Dracula's turn, if he deals 1 damage to a fighter adjacent to him, he chooses opposing fighters before he chooses targets allied fighters. When Dracula defeats a fighter, he recovers 2 health. So he is going to deal 1 damage to me. That's fine. So I'm at 3. He's at 2. So this is a pretty neck and neck match here. Ugh, sorry for that burp. And then Dracula's turn is going to start here. So let's see what Dracula does. So Dracula moves 4 spaces towards the fighter with the least health and then makes his attack. He's already adjacent to me. During combat, if you do not defend this attack, Dracula gains 1 action. During combat, add the boost value of your opponent's card to this card's value. So this will add only 1, so it'll be 3 to 4, and the mine's at 4. After combat, move up to 1 space. Your opponent moves a fog token 3 spaces. What was the other one again? Move a visible man to a space with the fog token. Where's my 3rd? Over here. That might be better. Move 1 fog token to 3 spaces. I do kind of need to get away a little bit. So yeah, I'll do this one. So it's going to be a 4. His adds my boost values to 3 plus my 1, so 4/4, so no damage is given. He doesn't have an after. And I did defend, so he doesn't get an action. And then mine is after combat, move Invisible Man up to 1 space. So I am going to move him 1 away from Drac here. And then your opponent moves a fog token up to 3 spaces. So once again, if I was the opponent, I would take that fog token and make it run away over there. And then let's discard these cards and keep going here. So that was Drac's action. Ooh, not removed from deck. Let's just discard it. So then the sisters are going to take an action here. And here, choose the fighter with the most health in a sister's zone. Place that fighter adjacent to as many sisters as possible. Wait, so choose the fighter with the most health in a sister's zone. So there's no fighters in the zone, so this doesn't even happen. So basically nothing happens. So, sucks to be a sister. But yeah, so then that's... I skipped Dracula, didn't I? Or no, he attacked with that other one. Return to deck on the top. So I know that's there. I'm going to pretend like I didn't see that. It's going to be me. So he has 2 health. Can I just kill him? I feel like I can kill this fool. Let's maneuver. Let's see what I got. Another defense. Yeah, let's go 1, 2. And then we'll grab another card. Can't use it. Deal 1 damage to opposing card. Yeah. So let's, on the second one, be right here. Okay. So now we're in our foggy zone. I like that. Okay, so Dracula's going to go first, so he's going to deal 1 damage to an adjacent fighter, and it's going to be the sister this time. And he defeated someone, so he recovers 2 health, so he's going to go up to 4 there. And then he's still a sister there, so sisters will not have to be retaken in yet. Let's pull a card here. So, Beast Form. Dracula moves 5 spaces towards the fighter with the most health, then he makes his attack, so I'm the only fighter. So, up to 5, 2 spaces. And this is during combat, discard each card from Dracula's deck. This card has +1 value for each card discarded this way. Dang, so it's at 6? Let me see. So, let's draw as many cards as there are in the deck. So, it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be a 12 attack. My camera froze. Let's see, can I reload? Sorry guys. Page, then my camera will update back so we can see myself in the little window there. And then give me just a second. I gotta move my little camera back up. Let's move these guys. I remember where they were. Oh, there you go. Still stand up. And she was up in this one. And then let's turn the camera back on. There we go. It's working. Ooh, way too big, way too big. Let's go right there. And then we will move everything over so it's easy to see what's going on here. Perfect. Okay, so where were we? So this is a 12. A 12 attack. Oh, the auto stuff is on. Let me turn the auto things off. There we go. Okay, so it's 12. It's a 12. I think I used up both my... I have a 2, 4, Shoot. I mean, I'm on a fog token, so this is going to be a 3. This is going to be a 5, but that is not enough. I just got slaughtered. So he's going to deal 12. I'll play this anyways, just to say I played it. But 4 versus, during combat, 12. Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm dead. So 4 versus 12, I take 8 damage. So I was at 3. So I'll be -5. The Invisible Man is dead. Guys, I lost both matches. And I kind of cheated a little bit because I kept forgetting to do some abilities. So this is actually really fun. I was like, my biggest worry with like playing against the computer is that it's too easy and it doesn't feel like they're making the best options for themselves. But they really are. I think Jack North definitely really nailed this. So let's discard all those. But yeah, the Dracula's the winner with 4 health. I had him on the ropes for a second there. Where's Rotate? Yeah, he's dead. Our Invisible Man. Oh, as a token. Where's the Invisible Man has died. Dracula is our winner. So that was actually really fun. I definitely want to try playing some more of these decks. I kind of feel like I'm going to hop off for now, but I do want to quickly kind of spoil a few that I had technically planned. I want to call that person that called me back, or I'll call them back, and then maybe we can do another one in a little bit. But the other bosses I had here, so we saw Dracula and we saw Bruce Lee. The other boss that I had, this is a Joey original boss, and here we go. This is DJ Octavio. So we got this big ol' guy. And so here we have a 20 health, 25, 30, and 35. And then it says, if Octavio would be defeated by a fighter not carrying the Rainmaker, negate all damage instead. Damage dealt to a fighter with the Rainmaker is doubled if Octavio is at half his health. So basically, if a 1v1, you always have the Rainmaker. But if it's 2-1, then if he's at 12 health or lower, whoever has that Rainmaker is going to be getting like just double attacks every single time. And here's that Rainmaker card, so it kind of tells you like what the half health values are. And then it's basically just, you just give this card to a person. I believe the Rainmaker is given to the fighter at the start of the game. At the start of that player's turn, they may give the Rainmaker to another player who is still active. So you can kind of pass it around if you think that Octavio is going to come beat you up. And then it has the same rule cards that we saw before. And of course the same action tokens. But we can draw all the cards from this deck really fast, just so we can kind of read through a few and kind of see how they are. So we have Bomb Rush Blush, the remix. If there are no fighters on Octavio's zone, he gains 1 action after combat. So he doesn't move with this one. That's interesting. But he's a ranged fighter. He's a ranged fighter. And then if there are no fighters, that's the same one. We already saw that. 8 attack. Remember, it's doubled, so it's a 16 if you have the Rainmaker and he's at half health. Plays Octavio in a space adjacent to the fighter carrying the Rainmaker. Octavio then attacks him. So he's just going to get you. You may boost your defense. Like, that's going to help. I mean, it's 16. Yeah, you're screwed for a single player one. Octobot Punch. Move 4 spaces towards the fighter with the Rainmaker. No combat damage was dealt. Octavio attacks with Octobot Punch. If no combat damage was dealt, Octavio attacks with Octobot Punch. So you just get to attack twice? Is that how that works? That sounds a little crazy. If no combat damage was dealt, Octavio attacks with Octobot Punch. Dang, so you need to take some damage? That's kind of crazy. Octarian Army. Octavio moves 4 spaces to the nearest opposing fighter after combat. Tentacular. So this is another versatile one. So it happens on defense. So you get a attack after that. I need to ask the creators about that. Then Octavio recovers 2 health. Shuffle Octavio's discard pile into his deck. Octavio then gains 1 action. Cancel all effects. Okay, cool. Tentacular, we already saw that one. Shower Dash. Octavio moves 8 spaces towards the fighter with the lowest health. He may move through opposing fighters. He moves through as many fighters as possible. Deal 1 damage to all fighters he moves through. Okay, so the path that would do the most people. There's 2 of those. That's a cool way to word that. Base boosted missile. Each fighter may discard 1 card or deal 2 damage to their fighter. That's kind of fun. During combat, if your fighter is carrying the Rainmaker, all damage dealt to Octavio is doubled. Ooh, so actually there's a bonus for having the Rainmaker. That's interesting, so that you don't always just hide with it. Tidal Rush 5 attack. Octavio moves 2 spaces towards the fighter with the most health. After combat, your fighter takes 2 damage. Very cool. This is one of the ones I thought was very cool. But they have other ones. They have like Ganondorf. They have a bunch of Metal Gear Solid ones, Final Fantasy ones. So definitely, I want to try this out. Like, if we can get some people on here, I want to try with like 2 or 3 people. I think is what they said it might be the best option for all these. Then also the health dial for Octavio here. But it's a very cool system. I mean, Ventures is very fun, but I think it's like more objective based, and it kind of like feels like more like either you're gonna win or you're not. It's not as much up to you because it's kind of like whatever mistakes you make, it's like you knew what was about to happen kind of thing. No whole hoax, just kind of like taking the damage is not the best way for me for like reshuffling the deck, but this is very, very fun. So anyways, let me give you a full window camera here. So, dude, what do we think? What do we think of the villains? Were they fun? Not that fun? I think definitely I want to print out a few of these. I have Bruce Lee, Dracula, and Beowulf. Those are all the ones that Jack North made. So I definitely want to try all 3 of those and see how much fun they are, and then potentially try to get all this printed out, because it's kind of cool that you can like store those with those fighters, and then you can fight not only solo, but you can do, okay, you and me versus Bruce Lee, or you and me versus Beowulf, or 4 of us versus Dracula. And of course he gets 6 sisters if you do 4. So it's pretty cool. I'm definitely liking it. Of course he gets so many actions too. They would get 5 actions total if with 4 people. So definitely very fun. Maybe there's even a way to play as that deck instead of having it controlled as the computer. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for sticking around. This was a fun stream. I gotta find my stop stream button real